before the state is here, we can certainly start.
And Mary, do you want to take it being a special meeting or? Okay, thank you.
Great, yeah, great. Agenda.
I have one thing then, I left on there. I just heard.
I don't see anybody with it.
We all got one of you.
Okay, welcome everyone to the special council meeting of August 27th, 2018. Debbie, will you please call the roll?
Asa, Brendel,
Here.
Akusta. Here. Argusi. Here. Tracus,
Present.
Roberta.
Here.
Wisniewski. Here.
And looking at the agenda, there will be no executive session today, so we will move right down to the legislation. And again, these are the three ordinances that have been approved at a special meeting at the end of July. And we'll have our law director, Greg Ryan, explain why they've come back to be amended.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So the original ordinances I took down to the Board of Elections, and they were filed and accepted by the Board of Elections. And later that day, I received a call from the Board of Elections saying they would prefer to have ordinances showing the exact change for passage. As you know, the ballot question is what the Board of Elections is going to put on, and that was in there, but they didn't have any specific changes. And since we had enough time, they asked me to do that, and I said, sure, not a problem. In addition to that, they recommended that the one ordinance now numbered 218, 146?
145.
145, sorry. That 90 days be changed to 120 days, because 90 days wouldn't give anyone a chance to fill out a candidate petition and submit it, because candidates have to be filed with Board of Elections 90 days prior to a general election. So I said, okay, 30 days, we could add that. And I think I sent the council an email to that. That's the only change in the ordinances.
We have a question. When the board prints the ballots, they would give us an opportunity to review the ballots. Who does that on behalf of the city?
They send them to me.
You? Okay.
Yes.
I just am concerned about voter confusion. I mean, when you're having, multiple the same language or similar language put on, just to make sure, just my own opinion would be, just make sure that there's a knowledge that, of how this would affect that. So in other words, by putting this on the ballot, you're gonna have two similar languages, and I just wanna make sure when the board structures that people understand what current law is versus what the attempted change would be. That's
Right, Councilperson Tracus, that's why we have gone at the extra step in the ballot question. The ballot question in these ordinances are not required, but we've done it just so that we can dictate what wording we have. So the only situation I've had in my years of tenure, if they did not like the ballot question, they would call me and say, we'd like to move this to that. But unless I hear from them otherwise, what's going to be on the ballot is what the question. In fact, that's why I was a little confused about their request, because I did send the Board of Elections for review the one that's marked 2018-144 with the 5D, like to change to the zoning in the event it's in a PUD, just to get their take on it. They actually helped me with the wording of that.
Greg, on the first ordinance, 2018-143, there is a paragraph added on to section 1 of that. Actually, it's right here.
Yes, that the underline in gold would be in our charter in the event of a successful majority individual voting in November for that to change the charter. So that bold underline is the requested change to the charter. And it's in the other corresponding ordinances as well. The other ones are strikeout because this would be a whole new
My section, yeah.
That's right.
These are the titles to the ordinance are, these. No, I haven't, you get your copies after it's posted on. I don't need copies for that.
Yeah, I see it.
Can we got these after?
Any other questions of law director or council?
Excuse me, is 1183 or 1182 available for review?
It's the same language that's been discussed and been circulated to the public throughout the whole charter amendment process and by the charter amendment committee. And it was circulated throughout, it's in there, dropped in there. So there shouldn't be any surprise to anybody.
But 1182 and 1183 will not be part of the language that will be sent to the residents in the description as to.
No, the ordinances, the 1182 and 1183
Codified
are
ordinances.
codified ordinances
Right.
today, but they will not be part of the legislation.
Okay,
Just
so they'll have to do
references.
their own research to find it.
They'd have to call it up online.
Okay. Thank you.
So Greg, procedurally, so as we're voting on these today, is it one vote to both repeal and replace?
No, I
or-
put it in each ordinance, if you notice in,
That's
I
one.
repealed the previous ordinances for each
Okay.
one, so.
Okay, so the vote
So that
will,
we're moving any confusion.
okay, very good.
That's not any violation of a single subject or anything like
No, these are all one issue, one issue to one section of the charter.
Title?
We'll start then with the ordinance number 2018-143.
that. Title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance providing for the submission to the electorate of an amendment to Article 4, Section 5D of the Charter for an exception of the rezoning of land pursuant to a planned use development by council as described in chapters 1182 or 1183 of the codified ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Motion to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Any questions on the adoption? Call the roll.
Asa?
Yes.
Brindell?
Yes.
Kapusta?
Yes.
Narduzzi?
No.
Tracus?
Yes.
Raverka?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes,
Ordinance number 2018-143 has been approved. Ordinance number 2018-144.
Title only?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance providing for the submission to the electorate of an amendment to Article 4, Section 2C5 of the city charter regarding purchasing and contracts and declaring an emergency.
motion to suspend?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any questions on the
tonight.
adoption? Call the roll.
Grindell?
Yes.
Kapusta?
Yes.
Narduzzi?
Yes.
Tracus?
Aye.
Raverka?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes,
Asa?
And finally, ordinance number 2018-145.
title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance providing for the submission to the electorate of an amendment to Article 4, Section 2A of the city charter regarding election, term of office, and vacancy of the finance director and declaring an emergency.
Motion suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Any questions on the adoption? Call the roll.
Kapusta?
Yes.
Narduzzi?
Yes.
Tracus?
Aye.
Raverka?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes,
Asa? Brindell?
Yes. Any other issues in front of council? I think we do have to set a date where we'll have a public forum on this. So please check your calendar in, maybe Debbie, you poll to see when,
That was gonna be a public meeting, not a council meeting. Yes? No?
It's a public meeting.
public meeting, it's not a council meeting, it's a public,
Okay.
but we need to set that far enough in advance so people can plan on being here. It should definitely be a 7 o'clock meeting after supper to maximize
Could I
the.
suggest that, as Debbie decides that she contacts some of the people from the chair and so forth from our committee
yes.
so that they can
Yes.
be there? So prior to like holding this, maybe you should contact Michael Cisco and Alex and then
Pavletti.
Pawleski.
Yeah, and, they're gonna get the He's the vice chairman.
Yes, that's-
And Mayor, I had sent an email about a communication schedule or plan for this, as far as what's in the works or what should we know about, what's going to be done?
Based on the, I believe it was a council workshop that was held, we talked about a insert in the city newsletter, it'd be the October newsletter that will hit mailboxes the beginning of October.
Great.
And it will be a insert sheet that contains the ballot language of the 3 charter amendments that was just approved, and then a layman's interpretation
Again,
of each.
and I mean, it's totally unbiased.
Yes, and then once that is drafted, I will distribute it to everybody in council for your approval before it goes to press.
Great. And then what's the requirements for the clerk of council as far as, do they have to do a mailing as well? So you have to do like a formal mailing?
30 days before the ballot.
Yes,
Okay.
of,
So
of,
that's-
of what you
To all
just
the
passed.
voters.
Mhm.
All right,
Is it
so it's an
possible-
exact copy of what the ballot would look like, right?
Actually, we just send a copy of this, right? In the past, haven't we?
What passed?
Huh?
What passed?
Because 4 years ago, there wasn't anything.
The
really
copies of the
exciting.
legislation?
8 years ago.
You're talking about to the voters before,
Right.
yeah, I mean, past ballot, oh, you
I
mean.
don't believe
Before my
so.
That's
time.
Oh,
before that.
yeah, we have
We have
literally,
done that, I know.
we have, there's different ways to do it, and council in the past have chosen to send out and mail into each household
Right,
in the city. There's other ways where you can publish it in a newspaper. but,
right, right.
Each household or each voter?
I'll have to check on that, I thought it was each voter from the Board of Elections.
Okay.
Would it be possible if we do something like that, is it legal to say that there's a public information session on this
Oh, sure,
topic on such
absolutely.
a date? I mean, don't wanna be, get
We have to
political.
check on timing of it, because I know
thought it
there's a
was 30 days.
before,
Right.
there's a
So when the
window
voting
there.
starts,
You can't
what
send it
time?
out too early or too late. I have to check on
No,
that.
I think
Yeah,
it's
so you're, it's not
in here,
November.
right.
And what communication can be done via the website for those who?
We talked about putting a link on the homepage of the website
Right.
that would link to the PDF of the insert that'll be inserted in the newsletter.
Great, great.
Great.
Okay.
30 days before November 6th. It's in the legislation.
So there'll be 2 different ones, one will be attached to the
But
newsletter
Council
in
First Trade
October.
is saying, could we
This
send it
will
out
be
now?
a separate one that.
We have it in
okay,
our
right.
shop.
I would recommend
Check
that you
on
send it by September
I think we're
9th or
okay,
whatever,
because
is 30
I
days.
think whatever it is, nine.
Okay.
I think the other
One of
end of
the
it is
absentee
It's like
ballots.
9th of October or something like that.
Okay,
starts.
so that's,
Or 8th or something, I don't know.
Mhm.
I guess I should know
And the more, most important.
that. Somebody knows that. They'll tell me how to do it.
I kept thinking September 15th was a date, so that'll be good if, okay, good. All right.
Okay, any other comments? And we did set a finance meeting for the
September
last.
25th.
September 25th is 4:30. So again, we'll start the 5-year plan and for next year, getting the budget set. So that'll be the kickoff meeting. It won't be as fancy as how way you
We
had
have high
last year.
expectations, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Well, I'll work with the treasurer.
Yeah.
I'll work with it. But any other comments before we close out the meeting? I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, sorry to do essentially what you do.
Better safe than sorry.